day in the history of Arizona Helping Hands, a dream that is beyond anybody's expectations, right, Kathy?
That's for sure.
So Kathy, just everybody kind of has a little piece of the story, but why don't you just share how we started and where we've come from to get here today?
We started in 1998 in my garage, a 3-car garage, and the dining room table was our board meetings. And this is 20 years later. We started because my little sister, Patty Neroni, got cancer, and she lasted 3 years. And the day before she died, I asked her what I could do in her memory. And she said, do one good deed a day and don't take credit for it. And then unfortunately the next day she did die. So my husband and I said we have to keep our word. So Arizona Helping Hands was formed 20 years ago.
Yeah. So, you know, our being here today is because of the group that we've assembled here today. Our friends who have brought us to this point and gotten us to this level that, again, is so far beyond our expectations in every form and fashion. It's just hard to imagine. I remember years early on as a member of the board running around between half a dozen different storage lockers trying to find a box of footballs. I had this ring of keys. It was, had like 20 keys, and we didn't. We used donated storage space, so it wasn't going to the corner storage unit. It was running around between 3 and 4 different storage units because this one would give us 1 space and that one would give us 2. And we put all these things together, and now to be here is truly a prayer answered, and just hard to put into words today. It's a really special day.
Beautiful.
So we have some really special friends here today too. I see that one of our stragglers who just walked in, Cynthia Weiss, is the communication director of the Department of Child Safety. Cynthia, can you come here for a second? I'm going to put you right on the spot. So Cynthia is here, Rita Sanchez from the Department of Child Safety, Pam Harris is here from the Department of Child Safety, Rena Grocki, who just did an interview with me on Channel 10 about 2 weeks ago and did a phenomenal job, is here today. So you guys can kind of share the story and how does Arizona Helping Hands make a difference for these kids?
Well, it's an amazing relationship that's been forged from the combination of a caseworker expressing a need to child safety or to Helping Hands, and then Helping Hands meeting that need through the community. So the community steps up, Helping Hands is there, and the children are served with not only a safe place to sleep, but also that missing factor all along has been joy. So to be able to bring joy to these kids that really, really need it and to their families is so priceless. And it's the game changer. It's really this is the convergence of community, family, and we're just so proud and honored and happy that you guys were able to make this move, because it's going to mean a lot for thousands, literally thousands of children and families throughout the state of Arizona. We're honored to be here today to help you guys out with your message, and together we really do make a difference. Thanks.
Thank you. It's just, I always tell people there are no coincidences, right? Yesterday morning, this is a video, it's up on my LinkedIn page. Yesterday morning, a foster mom walked in to get help from us. And she told us that she's been a foster mom. Again, that they now have 5 bio kids, 3 adopted children who are older, and they're now re-entering foster care. In the last year and a half, they have fostered 12 kids. Mm-hmm. Last weekend, she got the placement of 2 youngsters, 6-year-old twins, who came to her. They've never been to school. They have rotten teeth, all those basic things. They have no verbal skills. And this lady just told us that she wraps these kids in love. This lady's name is Joy. So literally yesterday I did a little video with her asking her to tell us, as those of you who are friends of ours on social media might see some of our videos that we put up. This video was about Joy and the fact that she's making a difference for these kids. And the hashtag that I put on that video yesterday is that joy happens. Mm-hmm. Well, joy happens here. Joy is going to happen here all the time, thanks to our community supporters who are going to bless us and help us make this happen. Thanks to the Holly Foundation. We're wearing and passing out today angels. I got one on my lapel. When we met with Mrs. Holly just a few weeks ago, she told us that what they believe is that there's an angel on the shoulder of people doing good work. And she gave us all in that meeting an angel. So we're sharing angels with everybody today, so please pick up an angel while you're here. We're not going to take an extended period of time. We just wanted an opportunity to share with our friends the excitement that we have today and to give you the opportunity to see our new home, the fact that we're going to blow this whole place out and do something really special here. So our construction team has already developed for us some concepts and some plans. We've got an amazing group today. Our friends from Corrigan. Where are you hiding in here? There they are, back in the back of the room. Corrigan. So again, one of those no coincidences. We started out, we walked into this place and we basically said, how can we squeeze into this and make things work? And that was with our first architect. And then we kind of had a hiccup in that relationship, and we're introduced to the folks from Corrigan, who have kind of changed this whole scenario. What are you guys calling this project?
We're calling it the Care Barn.
The Care Barn. And they're also, they told us last week that around their firm, they do a lot of industrial and commercial big projects that are kind of, square walls and everything else, and it's kind of, putting those pieces together and trying to be a little creative about it, but it's all commercial use. They're calling us around there one of their projects. AHH, a breath of fresh air, right? Arizona Helping Hands. But what they've put together for us is so cool, and I'll share these. They'll be out on an easel out in the warehouse as well. But this is what, in just a few months, you could be walking into. So this is the artist's rendering of the front of this building. So, I mean, some of the design concepts are, an entry wall that potentially has children's hands on it. A facade around the top of the building that could potentially be backlit. And, during the holidays, we could do a red and green, motif or something different up there. And just a really pleasant, what we want to create is a pleasant, welcoming environment to, let these families know that in the middle of everything else going on, they're home. That we can bring them joy, we can bring them this support. As Jen just said, the concept, one of the things that the state has referred to us now for a few years as the Care Barn. A really cool concept. They call us the place with the stuff for kids in foster care, right? So we're going to create this, this kind of welcoming, homey environment. As a family walks in the door, they're going to be greeted with that view. And it's really so exciting. We're going to, incorporate some nice features for kids, a kids' play area, possibly reading nooks. So I just love these guys back here. The new nuances that they brought to this project are really special. And then from an interior design, what you see here is going to be gone. Again, our first architect said, well, couldn't you guys live with this drop ceiling? We're like, well, maybe. And these guys came in and said, why? Why would you even want to consider that? Let's blow it out. Let's take it up to the ceiling. Let's make this really open, airy environment that people will be proud to walk into. And so from a floor plan perspective, we're going to rebuild the whole office space. So, we've got our entry area over here with lobby and offices, a conference room. This is, they're still working on the development of what a kid's play area might look like, and wanting to create this atmosphere where somebody walking through that door to get their beds and their cribs and their clothing, those kids are going to be excited to run into the play area and have a good time and kind of relieve some of their stresses. And then some of the other really neat things about this program is we're partnering with the area agencies that are also helping kids in foster care. Terry Vogel, come here for a second.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, put you on the spot too. So my friend Terry Vogel, we've helped you, right? You're a foster parent?
Yeah, we are. My husband and I are foster parents. We just adopted out of the foster care system, and I think we've had around 12 to 15 kids in and out of our home. Just a young man just aged out this last week, graduated high school. Yeah, moved on to college.
These are the heroes that we're here to kind of give a little support to. And you've gotten items from us as well in that process, right?
We have, yes. We have that. We've gotten beds. Yep.
So, we developed this friendship. We started talking a little bit, and, Thrive. Will you explain what Thrive is real quick?
So Thrive is a foster care prevention, reunification, and aged out service to the biological parents. We come alongside of the biological parents to help prevent children from having to go into foster care. And if their children are already in foster care, what is DCS requiring them to have them reunified? And how do we help them navigate the system and get there? We deliver brand new beds, brand new pillows, brand new sheets to all the children, to the bio families to help reunification.
So natural partnership, right? Arizona Helping Hands will
Beds.
provide you guys with the beds.
Yeah.
And in return, our families potentially can take advantage of some of the repurposed materials that are running through Thrive.
Yeah.
So this natural, we are a distribution center. We're not a warehouse. We want to get the stuff in and out of here as fast as possible. So it's just a really nice collaboration that we're thinking can make even more of a difference for families throughout the state of Arizona. So this section of the warehouse is Thrive's. So we are going to have a partner in the building, potentially more than one partner as we move forward, because the pink area also could be leased to some other charitable foster care
Not looking at
organization.
And it should be. So, yeah.
And some of the other nuances of this, the only thing we're saving from the present infrastructure is the restroom bank. Everything else here is going away and starting over. So it's going to look entirely different in just a few months. But another really cool feature that I'm so excited about is this room here. This we're calling a multi-purpose room, a community room, however you want to refer to it. That's going to be a room that we can open up to other community groups who can do foster care parenting classes. They can do CPR classes. I met last week with the head of Phoenix Pride, and he suggested holding a session there to try and recruit potential foster parents in their community to help these kids out and to open those doors a little bit more. So this is another opportunity for us to connect with the community and truly make a difference. The board members standing around here, all wearing polo shirts and stand-up shirts, are all part of our home team. And if you've got any questions about what we're trying to do, what we're trying to accomplish out of this, please ask any one of us. I'd like to introduce, though, also Len Miller. Standing over here in a purple shirt. He didn't wear red today. But Len, in many of the presentations that I give out in the community, Len has been my mentor through much of my life, my professional career, as well as a dear friend. And Len, has run capital campaigns for the Jewish Community Center and has raised dollars through the community for projects like this. Len is helping us, is chairing this program for us and trying to raise $3 million to make all of this happen. And I'm so grateful for Len being on board. But if anybody wants to know how you can plug in and be part of our campaign, we're trying to raise $3 million. It's not an easy task. But Len loves to talk about how your money can go to great work. I'd also like to introduce a really good friend as well, Pat Adler. Pat's here from the T.W. Lewis Foundation, another prominent supporter of Arizona Helping Hands and a great philanthropist throughout the community. They've issued to us a challenge grant. And that challenge grant relating to the capital campaign is to go find 10 new gifts of $2,000 or more. And the T.W. Lewis Foundation will match each one of those 10 gifts. So a $2,000 gift becomes 4, a $5,000 gift becomes 7, and you can help us make this a reality. It takes a village to put all these pieces together, and we're looking for the support, candidly, to make that happen. I'd also like to introduce Chris Jacober. So I've only known Chris for, I think I met her when I was 2, I'm now 32. So
Same thing. I think that's about how old we were when we met.
So a long time ago, sitting around a boardroom of a small Phoenix Boys and Girls Club, community board, I met Joe and Chris Jacober, and Chris is really instrumental in Arizona Helping Hands being here today as well. Because it's crazy that it's such a short time period. Just 5 years ago, Kathy and I and others sat down with Chris and Joe and asked them, how can we plug in and make a difference for kids in foster care? And we thought this is going to be some kind of arbitrary conversation, and we'd have projects assigned and different research that we'd all have to do. And Chris, she just looks over at us and says, I can tell you exactly what you need to do. If you guys could provide a few beds or a few cribs, you can change lives. And you can do it like that, giving these kids a safe place to sleep who are fighting over the spot on the sofa. And that changed our world, and now it's changed the world for thousands of kids in foster care, because in 2017 alone, we provided 3,000 beds and cribs to give those kids a safe place to sleep. So Chris and I, about 3 or 4 years ago, had this dream of putting together a foster care resource center. It was on a much larger scale than this, but now we're back to reality. So,
And that's fine too.
yeah, exactly. So, in some regards, I'm calling this foster care resource center light. It's not this grandiose concept of 10 organizations coming together to do this, but we're going to partner with all of those organizations, and we're going to make things better for kids in foster care, and we're going to do that here. And it's just an honor and privilege to work with Kathy and to make all these things happen. And I think Robbie is around here somewhere. Where'd Robbie go? Robbie, you have something in your hand, right? So we have the ceremonial key to pass on to Mrs. Donaldson. So on a cooler day in Phoenix, we'd be standing outside and we'd open up the door. But today being what it is, I think that key is probably heavy enough that it could cut through that ribbon, right?
Listen, I've known Dan for 18 years. I met him at church, and Dan's been involved with Arizona Helping Hands that whole time. Now Dan had a vision, Dan had a dream, Dan had the passion for a foster care resource center, the only one in the state. I'm passing this key on to Dan so he can help.
Here, we can do it like this.